Yes, yes, everyone. We saying this is Buckstar. Don't gas the badge. You'll notice I'm by myself today. Simply because I felt like doing a little emergency episode. It's not really an emergency, but I felt like doing a little episode, and it's something I might do regularly, maybe weekly or fortnightly. And actually, I'm going to be talking about Arsenal Football Club during this time. Okay, so one of the things I want to do is just be as honest as I can about Arsenal. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan. I want to be as honest as I can, give you my kind of outtake on where things are, what I feel that we can achieve this season, and hopefully touch on some controversial issues as well. But we'll get into that shortly. In the meantime, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and feel free to leave any comments. And if I see anything pop up, I will definitely reply to every single person. Okay. So the first thing is, I have to be real about this now. I might have jumped the gun a little bit with Arsenal. You'll know on Don't Gas the Badge a couple of weeks ago, we did Premier League predictions. And at that particular time, we played Liverpool, we played City, we'd set up so negatively. And I just felt like both those teams were there for the taking, and the manager wasn't brave enough and he didn't go for it. I didn't really put it on the players. I just felt that the team, the lineup, it sent the wrong message. And for me, as an Arsenal fan, at the start of the season, I was sure that we're definitely going to be up there challenging for that title and potentially winning that title. But in my predictions, it was off the back of those two games. And I was like, you know what, if this is our approach, we're not going to do it. And it will be Liverpool. However, as I say, I've got to hold my hands up and say, probably jumped the gun on that, because looks like Arteta's kind of changed his approach now. And, I'm glad. I'm so happy to see that. And I don't mind being proven wrong for the right reasons. And I don't mind that at all. And what I'm seeing at the moment, I'm liking a lot more. And we're playing a lot with a lot more fluidity. The lineup seemed to be right. The substitutions seem to be right. And you've got to remember, Arsenal just finished the last 3 seasons, finishing second. So to be in a positive frame of mind all the time is difficult, I'm not going to lie, because them 3 years hurt, man. Like, any Arsenal fan saying that it didn't hurt is a liar, because that did hurt, man. And, we've been trusting the process for 6-7 years now. And we just need something to be delivered. We need a title. We need a big title. So, as I say, maybe I got my predictions wrong. So, hold my hands up. And I'm feeling a lot more positive at the moment. So that's where I currently kind of stand on that. And I wanted to put that on the record before any of the other Don't Gas guys try and throw that in my face later on. Look, I'm here. I'm saying it. I was probably wrong. I probably jumped the gun. So there you go. What I do want to talk about is I want to talk about Arsenal fans. So, in fact, before I get to Arsenal fans, we'll get to that in a moment. I have to say, from the media, from pundits, and there has been a couple of good channels that have put some good content out there about this already. But I just want to talk on it as well. Like, I'll be honest, as an Arsenal fan, I'm learning and beginning to love the hate. Like, I'm really enjoying it. And before anyone kind of says, "Oh, typical Arsenal fan," with that, which I think is the most lazy take that you can say, typical Arsenal fan. It's like reverting to default. We see the mainstream media do that a lot, and you'll hear a lot of people say that, "Oh, typical Arsenal fans," and blah blah blah, basically categorizing everyone as the same. But I find that lazy, and it's reverting to default when you don't have much to bring to the table in the forms of objective discussion. So you could keep saying that. I don't care. And, like I said, all the hate I'm really enjoying, because we've been years without winning stuff. And, we've won FA Cups and stuff like that, but not the trophies we want to win. So, we have to be honest. And I lowered my expectations on that years ago. Like, I don't know about other people, but I lowered my expectations years ago. So I'm under no illusion of what Arsenal Football Club is. We haven't won the Champions League, and, we would all love to win that. So there are certain conversations that you get into with rival fans, and they say, "Oh, but Champions League." What can you say? Can't say nothing. You know what I mean? Oh, invincible season. That's all, that's all we can say. But we don't want to be saying that. We want to be talking about currently what we're doing. So keep on hating us. The pundits coming out with a madness. That Richard Keys coming out with comments about Arteta not being able to sit down and stuff like that after a great win against Newcastle. I think Richard Keys needs to remember why he's no longer presenting on a big channel, you know what I mean, and why we don't see him weekly before he starts worrying about Arteta's behaviour. Yeah, he's got his own behaviour issues. Let's not forget that. Sour old man, and no one really cares, mate. So we move on from you. So yeah, bring the hate on, mate. We're enjoying it. We love it. We don't mind being the most hated. But at the same time, and this is where I'm going to get onto Arsenal fans, I can understand it to a certain degree with certain fans. And why I'm going to say certain fans, it is a minority of fans. We all know what type of channels they appear on. And I don't want to tar everyone on those channels with the same brush, because they've got some great people on their channels as well. And I'm not going to name channels or anything like that, but I think you can kind of work it out for yourselves. The sorts of people that I'm talking about. And you do get people that don't help themselves. You do get people that are kind of punching above their weight when it comes to Arsenal Football Club over the last like 10, 20 years. We just got to remember where we are, you know. And at the moment, we're in a good place. So Arsenal fans, you know, the ones that I know and that I talk to, for the most part, are realistic. You know, we're not expecting too much. I'm certainly not. Until now, I'm looking at this squad and I'm thinking, you know what? That squad is deep. Pause. You look on our bench in the Champions League game the other day, and you've got Saka, you've got Eze on there. You know, I mean, you had some big names on the bench, and the bench just looks stacked. And I was like, actually, we got a massive squad here. Like, we you know, one of the big pitfalls of the past few previous seasons has been we haven't had the squad to cope. You know, I'm not going to blame injuries, because everyone gets them. But if you get injuries, you need to have a squad that can step up and fill in, and players that can step up and still do a job. And I felt we didn't have a big enough squad to do that in the past few years. Whereas now, I feel like we've got two players in every position. It doesn't matter who gets injured. It doesn't matter who. There should be someone else who can step in and step up and make sure it doesn't feel like we've missed them, you know. So yeah, last couple of games, we're really happy with the way we're dealing with things, and yeah, things are looking good. But the Arsenal fans who don't do the rest of us any favors, please, you know what I mean, just tone it down a bit. And you know, there are some proper fans here, and I would say the majority are proper fans. I've been to the Emirates many times, and you know, we do have proper fans, not fans that, you know, I'll try not to name names here, you know, but it's hard not to. You know what I'm talking about. The fans that are over expectant and think we're better than we are, you know. Let's go out there, let's do a job, let's win something big, and then have that attitude. Because right now, we still ain't won nothing. So let's see how that goes this season. So yeah, I spoke about my initial predictions. I want to talk about the manager now, Mikel Arteta, because Arteta, man, you're not good for my health, bro. You're not good for my health. Liverpool game, City game, I know I keep bringing those up, but it was like, why? Why weren't you braver? You could have gone there and taken the sword to them, and we could have won those games. Like, and I do think we've got the squad and team to go up to Anfield and win, and go, you know, play against Man City wherever and win. But it was just like, you know, the bravery wasn't there in terms of the team selection and stuff like that. And so, you know, a lot of people do think that Arteta's stubborn, and I hope that this season he's breaking that mold and proving more people wrong. And I hope he proves us all wrong, and I hope he takes us to the level where we need to get to. Because I was the first one saying maybe he is a guy that has done a lot for the club, a lot for Arsenal Football Club. He's put us back in an absolutely great position. He's brought the fans, the board, the players all together. And you know, during the late Wenger years, we weren't there. We were far from there. So he's done a hell of a lot of good. But I thought maybe to get us to that next stage, he's not that guy to do it. And you know, I hope, and the signs I'm starting to see, I hope that he's not stubborn. He is adaptable, and he is going to go out there and just prove all of us wrong. and go and win something, because that would burn a lot of fans. And a lot of fans are on our case. Don't forget, a lot of fans are on our case because we haven't won the big trophies for a long time. They like that. They're enjoying that. They can banter us and stuff like that. And the fact that we're so close to doing it, you've probably seen the hate just skyrocket. It's because they're scared of us doing it. Oh, Arsenal fans will be unbearable. Yeah, we will be unbearable because you've not been giving us stick for the longest time. So yes, I'm telling you for right now, and there's people that in my group chats that I've spoke to about this. Like, you might want to take a little vacation from the group chat, because yeah, I'm coming for the people that that were out there clowning me and cussing me over the years, especially when we weren't in the Champions League and stuff. I ain't forgot all that. So yeah, there's just football swings and roundabouts. So when it's our turn to actually go out and do something, you best believe that I'm going to be coming with receipts for you lot. Yeah. So yeah, wait and see what happens there. Like I said. So Mikel Arteta, great, looking like he might be turning the corner. I'm really happy with the last couple of games. Let's just keep it going. We've got a good run of games coming up. And, you know, over the next 5 games, let's see where we land in. Going to talk about the current squad, the current Arsenal squad. Okay. I have had a few issues with some of the favourites that we've seen for Arsenal that just there's no chance of them being dropped. And it used to annoy me a little bit because I don't feel, apart from maybe your goalkeeper, there shouldn't be any player that comfortable that, you know, if they're fit, they're definitely going to play. And Ødegaard was one of them guys. And I've been cussing him for the last couple of seasons because he's an attacking midfielder who doesn't really score goals, hasn't got many assists over the last 2 seasons. And I'm like, what is he doing? If he's not doing that as an AM, what is he actually doing? So I was almost getting to the point where it's like, right, we need to be looking elsewhere. Like, he needs to be dropped and benched. And I don't care if he's the captain or not. It's what's better for Arsenal Football Club, not what's better for the captain. But we signed Eberechi Eze. And listen, this guy, I'm telling you, absolutely unreal. Unreal. If you look at the games that he's played, look at the assists that he's done. Has he got 2 or 3 assists this season already? So I think he scored in a cup as well. He's already making that kind of contribution. And yeah, he played out on the left initially. But he, you know, and I know he can play there, but listen, he's an AM, let's be honest. So it's got to be now. Who is on form? Is it Eze or is it Ødegaard? Because whoever's on form, that's who's got to play. Forget about favourites and all that stuff. Ødegaard, I mean, coming back from injury in the Champions League, looked good coming off the bench. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he needs to be the one always coming off the bench, but I'm saying he can do that as well. You know, he doesn't have to start every game. So that's the first thing. That left side is always going to be an issue, I think, with Trossard and Martinelli. I think that is going to be an issue for certain games this season, because Martinelli, man, I've never seen a player run with his head down so often. I've never seen it so often. The guy could have put Gyökeres in a few times, and I'm going to get to Victor Gyökeres in a minute. But he could have put him in a few times in the Champions League game against Olympiacos, but he's not looking up. He's not looking. It's like his awareness is not there. And you're meant to be a footballer. You're training how many times a week? Like, come on. You know what I mean? Look up and see where your teammate is. It's not all about you. You've done well and you've scored a few goals lately, but it's still not all about you. It's about the team. Victor Gyökeres, who, you know, I think, and I still think this, he looks like somebody that after the game, he goes home and does like squats and leg presses. Like he looks like he loves the gym, goes back and eats dumbbells and that. He needs to, like, normally it's funny because players join the league and we, you know, from other countries and that. And a lot of the time they need to put a bit of weight on. They need to hit the gym a little bit. With Gyökeres, for me, it's the opposite. I feel like he needs to trim down a little bit, you know what I mean? So he can be a little bit more fluid in his movement, a little bit quicker off the mark and stuff like that. Because at the moment, I see him run, and after about 5 seconds, the guy flatlines and he's not going any faster. So I feel like he needs to maybe change that a little bit. But at the same time, the players within the Arsenal squad need to adapt to him as well. And I think it needs to be a 50-50 thing. I don't think one should adapt to the other and not the other way around. And I think that now that we've got him, and you see that he gets into some great positions, whip the ball in early. Gyökeres is going to be there. You're going to find him. I know we haven't had that in the last few years, but we have got that now. And I feel if players are a little bit more aware and quicker to put the ball in the box, he'll get those goals, you know. I do think he'll be a bit of a flat track bully and maybe won't be scoring against the big size. But you know what? I don't care. As long as he contributes across the season, I couldn't give a damn. Like score against the smaller clubs and the mid-table clubs and all that. As long as other players step it up in the bigger games, I really couldn't care less. But we've got to start looking for this guy now, because he does get into some really good positions in that. Madueke, another one. I know he's injured at the moment, but I'll talk on him as well, because I was not happy when we signed him, simply because, first of all, 50 odd mil, I thought was a little bit of a liberty. I think that's a little bit too high for someone like Madueke. And also, I just felt we needed more of a left-sided player. So that didn't go down very well with me. And then his first couple of games, he didn't have the best, you know what I mean? Didn't have the best performances. But last couple of games, have to say, that he's played, he's looked actually very good. He's looked very good. And I was surprised. I didn't know he had that in his locker. So it's only a couple games, don't get me wrong. He's still got a long way to prove himself. But at least there's some promising signs there as well. Who else we got? Zubimendi, I think, has been absolutely brilliant. I think he's been a brilliant signing. I'm really pleased with his output and how he's been playing. He's got a couple of goals, and he's that deep line playmaker. You know what I mean? Yes, he's a DM, but he's a deep line playmaker. And he puts himself about. He gets about the pitch quite a bit himself, and you find him in forward position sometimes as well. But I think he's been brilliant. There's been a couple of times where he's given the ball away silly, giving the ball away unnecessarily and stuff like that. But it's going to happen. He's still getting used to the league. But I think he's been really, really good. And the other one I want to talk about is Mosquera. Absolutely brilliant. How well has he done? Yeah, he gave the ball away and gave a corner away against City. But other than that, he hasn't put a foot wrong. Like, he's actually done really well. The game where he got dropped for Saliba, I was a bit like, why has he been dropped for Saliba? Saliba's just coming back from injury. Mosquera hasn't done anything wrong. Why are we just throwing people back in? I didn't understand it. But, Mosquera, I mean, he's just showing he's another player who can come in and do a job for us. So, yeah, that's been really good as well. So my thoughts right now, and this isn't going to be a long video, but my thoughts right now are, if I had to change my predictions from what I said a couple of weeks ago, I think I would now. I'm feeling a little bit more confident in what Arteta's now doing and his approach. And he's shown that we don't have to always be cautious. We've looked really fluid. We've got a massive squad. And I'm feeling a lot more confident now. So I'm going to keep that confidence for the rest of the season now. Yeah, I said it. Even if we have a couple of bad results, I'm going to stay confident. Because he's already shown that, he can change things and he can change the way we play. And I actually quite like that. The fact he's adaptable enough to change the way we play. He just needs to do that in the right games is all I'd say. So, yes, I am changing my mind. I am allowed to do that. I ain't going to do that too often because I'm not going to flip-flop all the time. I made a snap judgment. I got it wrong. I'm changing my mind. Sue me. I don't really care. But yeah, I just thought I'd drop a little video. What I'd do is just, every week, every other week, I'm going to drop a video like this and just talk a little bit about our progress through the season. If you're not an Arsenal fan, you don't have to watch, but you can watch if you want, and you can comment and you can challenge anything I'm saying. I've got absolutely no issue with it. Like I said, everyone's got entitled to their opinion. And, we're all adults, so let's have a conversation about it. If anyone wants to come on and have a conversation with me, that's absolutely fine. Reach out and we'll talk. And, yeah, we can get, whether you're an Arsenal fan or not, we'll get you on. And we'll listen to your opinion and see where we go from there. So, yeah, again, don't forget to like, comment, please, share, subscribe. And we'll be back a bit later tonight, 9 p.m, with the Don't Gas podcast, where we'll be talking about UK street culture and decoding that. We're going to talk about some interesting topics in that. That will be with the usual bunch. Should be a really good episode. So yeah, tune in for that tonight. Look out for the promo, which I'm going to drop in a little while. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.